It's Press Pass with Jack Ebling, Mid-Michigan's spirited sports debate. Now let's get talking sports. Here's Jack.
Great evening, Mid-Michigan and beyond, and welcome to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time to meet Team 287, Tom Crawford, my longtime radio partner, Bluebelly Tom. He is co-host of The Drive with Jack and Tom, heard weekdays from 3 to 6 on the Spotlight Radio Network and worldwide at jackandtom.com. Tom, I saw your team this weekend in action. What was it like for you in Crawford Indoor?
It was pretty nice, fairly, not a lot of anxiety that much, normal. I mean, usually NCAA, it's, you can lose, you can be done. So pretty good, comfy win for Michigan and for Michigan State, but damn, those Duke Blue Devils, they are so lucky.
It seems like that's not the first time that's happened, guys, but they did just enough. And the basketball gods, Mike Krzyzewski always says, the basketball gods, we know he's Catholic.
Yeah.
Rico Beard, he is, of course, longtime Detroit radio and TV personality, Specs Howard broadcast instructor, recruiting insider, and most importantly, he is the host of the Spartan Beat, weekdays from noon to 2, the Spotlight Radio Network. You're just back from Arizona.
Yeah, I'm back, and but more about this Duke game.
He fears Duke.
It's not fearing
Duke phobic.
No, it's not. It's just they just won't die. I mean, they just when you think you have them, Aubrey Dawkins and nothing.
They're keeping them alive so that Michigan State or Michigan can knock them off, right?
Once again,
that's what it's about.
If you're up 3, foul them.
Yeah.
You're up 3. Worst case is you're only up 1.
Yeah. The worst thing that could have happened was what happened.
Yes.
They give him the basket and the free throw, and then, of course, Taco falls out of the game.
Yeah.
So R.J. Barrett gets
If it had been overtime, they would have got blown out.
Wouldn't have happened if Darian Harris was coaching. I want to welcome him in. He is a 5-year MSU linebacker, co-captain of the 2015 Big Ten champions. Last semester, graduate student. He is an aspiring broadcaster, heard on The Drive with Jack and Tom, and BTN, and most importantly now, he is brand ambassador for Big B Coffee with that sweet new ride.
Yeah. Better keep doing all these things. I want to keep paying for it. But no, that game today was unbelievable. There's something special, obviously, about the tournament every year, and this might have been the game of the tournament. And it's just it's remarkable how Duke continues to hang on and to pull off these close wins at the end. I mean, UCF had an opportunity to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated, the next issue. Just couldn't quite pull it off with all the storylines. But honestly, if you're a Michigan State fan, take it.
They look beautiful.
Take it. Take it. Because we don't want the easy route. We
There
never
you go.
have. We never
There you
will.
go.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with the easy route.
Rico, I've been told that next week when we go to Washington, D.C., we just tell people we know Darian Harris, best table in the house. We'll be right back with our Going Green segment up next.
Welcome to Russell and Schrader Insurance.
Hastings Mutual is a trusted partner of ours. Call Joe Daly for a Hastings Mutual insurance quote. They are hard to beat. Call Dylan Bond today. From business to farms, Hastings Mutual and Russell and Schrader Insurance will protect your best assets.
March means Wallside's sweet 16% off sale. An extra 16% off every Wallside window. We're celebrating our 75th year with big savings. So get 50% off every custom-made, professionally installed window. Then take an extra 16% off for cash. Or 5 years, no interest. The cold weather isn't done yet, but an extra 16% off ends soon. Wallside Windows. Call 1-800-521-7800.
Hi, I'm Realtor Brock Fletcher from the selling team with Keller Williams. Mid-Michigan homeowners who sell their homes with us get an average of 98% of their asking price and sell their home in an average of 28 days. Call us today at 517-853-6408.
In every Honda is the soul of a race car, and at the Honda Dream Garage Spring Event, you can take some of it home. With a Honda CR-V, pretty cool, or a Honda HR-V. And they each come with sport mode. Speaking of something with a kick, I could really use an espresso. Guess it only works on cars.
Get a great deal on a Honda CR-V, awarded the 2019 Best SUV Brand by U.S. News & World Report at the Honda Dream Garage Spring Event.
I need an airway.
The Resident, all new, Mondays at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
It's the Graf Saving of the Green Sale, the time of year to save a pot of gold. Release the leprechauns.
The savings at Graf are crazy. Yeah! Graf's minimum trade is back. Get more gold for your trade.
Get a 2019 Silverado Double Cab 4-wheel drive just $242 a month. Or drive away a new Equinox LT for only $179 a month.
It's the Graf Saving of the Green Sale going on now at a Graf dealership near you. You'll save so much money, you'll feel like dancing like a leprechaun too.
The Ticket Machine is your local connection to concert, theater, and sporting event tickets nationwide. Our entertainment experts are ready to help you create a memorable experience, trusted by fans for more than 20 years. Whether you're looking for tickets for your corporate outing, family excursion, or vacation, we offer the best seats and the best prices. Grab a front row seat now on theticketmachine.com.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for a Going Green segment. Brought to you by Graf Chevrolet, a trusted friend with 105 years in the automobile business, and Graf Nissan, next door on West Grand River in Okemos. They'll take great care of you as they have on all 6 of my leases and purchases. Go green, go Graf. Take us through Cash's time. When you got those 7 points in a row, they cut it down, and then you said, okay, enough of this.
You know, I just felt the momentum going, and I just wanted to make plays. You know, I think one was a shot clock play, so I was forced kind of just to create something, got that one. Next one, you know, like I said, I came off a ball screen, just found the read, found my shot, and then I got a steal on the other end. So after that, everything was kind of just rolling.
There you see Cassius Winston, Cash Money, in action again after Michigan State's 70-50 win over the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Rico Beard, when the 20-point lead dwindled to 9 in what was clearly a Golden Gophers home court environment, how did the Big Ten's most valuable player, looking a lot like Uncle Drew, score those 2 baskets back-to-back and then hit that 3 and put the Gophers out of their misery?
I mean, I think it's because just experience. He's done it so many times, there's no panic. There's just, okay, I wanted my teammates to help me out, but they're not getting the job done, so I'll take it over. It reminds me a lot of what Mateen Cleese did back in the 2000 year. He wanted those guys to be involved, but when they had bad days or at the end of the game, I'll take over from here, and Cassius did it. I mean, and especially doing against, sorry, Tom, big games against Michigan where they were down, and he just kind of led the charge in all of those games. This is just business as usual for them.
Tom, I do have the Cassius Winston headband.
I'm not putting it on. Okay, I've already done that deal.
If Michigan State beats Duke, would you wear it again? No. Back by popular demand,
I picked Michigan State to beat Duke. That's not going to be a surprise to me. It will be to him.
What if Michigan State beats Michigan for the 4th time? Would you wear it?
Worry about that a couple of weeks
ago. Darian, would you say that Cassius is the best below-the-rim player in college basketball?
Yeah, I think so. I think that the liking you made to Uncle Drew, to Kyrie Irving, is pretty accurate just in terms of finishing around the rim, finishing those baskets, finishing those layups that he's able to do around the rim. He's able to understand body placement and leverage and using that off arm to create separation. And it shocks me he doesn't get more free throws than he does. I think that's something that we might see for the rest of the tournament is Izzo kind of nudging these refs saying, hey, my guy's getting bumped every single time he goes to the basket, every time he steps across half court. He does not get a lot of calls.
How many times does he fall down? He's on the ground.
And he's not a flopper either. So he's getting hit.
Right, he plays through. He doesn't throw his arms. He's not demonstrative.
It's been weird to me the entire year that he doesn't get a lot of these calls. He should be shooting 10, 12 free throws a game.
Darian, when announcers say that, who don't have anything to do with Michigan State, like, he's getting beat up down there, and they just won't call him.
If the Big Ten is as good as it seemed this week, given Michigan State's 2 championships and a 14-1 record against the league's other teams that are in this tournament, I'm going to take a look at that in just a minute. What does that mean? What does that say?
I mean, it's a couple things to me. I mean, I think, one, it means that the Big Ten from top to bottom is probably the deepest conference in the country. And then second, I think they need to kind of reshuffle and reshape how they do some things during the regular season. Maybe going back a couple games in terms of conference play. Maybe taking the conference tournament and finishing the day on Saturday and not on Sunday. Yeah. And then you might not end up in a situation where you have Michigan State in that East bracket and Deuce region, and you have the committee making these decisions on Saturday when the conference tournament isn't played until Sunday. So there's a lot of things that could be figured out because of that. And I think that, you know, the way it's set up right now, playing all those conference games more than any other conference in the country, is actually starting to hurt the conference, especially if, once again, they don't get a team in the Final Four, at least to win a championship.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's like in football when they went to 9 games, but everybody else is only playing 8.
Same thing.
I don't think there has been a Big Ten team that has won 14 games against other Big Ten tournament teams, other teams that have made the NCAA tournament, but that's what happens when you're 3-0 against Michigan and Ohio State. And the only team that's beaten Michigan State was Purdue in Mackey Arena. Tom, the Spartans and Wolverines, a couple of hours apart, got win number 30, and for Michigan State, that's the first time it's happened back-to-back since 1998-99 and 1999-2000. If Tom Izzo's team wins 2 more of these 2-game mini tournaments he talks about, for a school record 34 wins, that is really going to make history. Can it get past LSU Friday night and somehow do what UCF couldn't quite do and get Duke next Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, LSU, I don't know how they're doing this. This has got to be the most distracted team in college basketball. I mean, they're going to end up forfeiting all these games.
Actually, you should, because they kind of look like that Michigan team when all of a sudden the coach was let go.
Well, but this is a little bit different. I mean, they're going to be forfeiting all these games. I mean, they're in big trouble. But this Tremont Waters is a good player, and you got a good guard player. I mean, Michigan State's going to beat them, though, and they're going to beat Duke, like I said last time.
Michigan played LSU. Okay. We'll see how that all works out. Next Sunday, there's a very good chance that I will still be in Washington, D.C., and Tom Crawford will be hosting the show.
I will be hosting.
Michigan State beats Duke. Look out, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
We will be back in just a couple minutes. We're going to talk about Michigan's pair of wins, our Out of the Blue segment, and looking ahead for the Wolverines out west. Up next.
Team spirit, face paint, more cowbell. Dean Trailway's motor coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
The student bookstores are Green and White Shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
Ride with Chicago PD, weekdays at noon on My 47.4.
I have an adult male with multiple stab wounds to his torso. Nani!
She's not here. She's gone.
911, what's your emergency?
We got 2 inside, teenage boy and his dad.
We have multiple structure fires. Please send everything you have. Go door to door, everyone gets evacuated.
My son's upstairs!
Do you know which room?
Incoming! Alex! Get out of the trucks! Go, go, go!
Which he absolutely loved.
Yeah. John Sanderson, the strength and conditioning coach, leading the charge for the Maize and Blue Wolverines.
That is tremendous stuff. That is tremendous.
They got him.
64-49 over Florida.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's our Out of the Blue segment. Tom Crawford, John Beilein hasn't been that wet since he was up at Walloon Lake. Looked like he's absolutely drenched there. But when you look at what Michigan did with the 19-point win over Montana and then the 15-pointer over Florida, what does that say about a team that is clearly tournament tested?
Well, I mean, I think they're resilient because people don't realize how much in a funk this team was after they lost to Michigan State for the third time last Sunday. I mean, John Beilein talked about this. He was worried about this team mentality-wise on Tuesday, even into Wednesday. They finally had a good practice, and all of a sudden they turn it around against Montana. Not a very good team. This win on Saturday, though, was an excellent outcome for Michigan because Jordan Poole was involved. I mean, and he's the guy who's been in a funk. And Charles had the big game against Montana. So when you get different contributions like that and then out-rebounding Florida 42-20, now you own the boards. I mean, it was a solid win against the Gators.
Darian, I don't know exactly what Montana thought it was trying to prove, starting 5 guards.
Yeah.
If that's the way they play, they kind of need to look at the opponent. Say, okay, you got a 7'1" center, and you got Iggy here. We might want to try to get a rebound once in a while.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either. But as we touched on, I mean, they weren't going to win that game anyway. Michigan is tournament tested. They're tournament tested and they're battle tested, and they set up better, I think, for the NCAA tournament than a lot of teams because a lot of these teams are running into buzzsaws in terms of these teams that don't necessarily win their conference, but then they're seeded against conference champions, even if they're in lesser quote-unquote conferences. You're still playing against phenomenal teams. But I think Michigan is set up to handle those and weather those storms.
Rico Beard, Michigan looked pretty good this week. We give you one more chance to hop on the bandwagon.
Not happening.
Can you see the Wolverines beating Gonzaga after they beat Texas Tech and showing up in Minneapolis?
Well, here's the thing. The Montana thing, not all 15 seeds are the same. Right now, them and Texas Abilene or whoever didn't belong in the tournament. But for Michigan, I think the best thing that happened to them was they got out of the Big Ten because their style is different. Because they play defense, and you think Michigan, you're thinking three-point shooting. Now, the Texas Tech game is going to be first team to 45. Gonzaga, on the other hand, I think just has too much firepower. Hashimura, as a big man down low, is everything you want John Teske to be plus more. So I don't think that they're going to get it there.
Gonzaga, the #1 offense in the country. Michigan, one of the top defenses in the country. That would be a very interesting matchup. What do you think of Tom's prediction that the Wolverines are going to be snipping the nets on April 8th?
April 8th?
That's Monday night, April 8th.
No.
That's when the national championship game takes. Hey, listen, that's what my bracket said, okay?
Really? Oh,
okay.
well, there's a shock.
No.
Let me just say, no. Not gonna happen.
No chance.
Okay.
Not a
Capture
chance.
that clip for the Sunday after that show.
Okay, let's do it because once again, you're going to be like, he's right again. Give me the catch.
I never say that.
Would you like to
wrong
see
more than you're right.
Michigan State, Michigan 4?
Yeah.
No.
Why?
I'm tired of it. You know what?
No
Guess
challenge.
What?
No challenge.
You didn't want to see it either.
Tom, every time I watch the Titanic, Jack and Rose are up there saying, I'm the king of the world. But eventually the iceberg comes.
So you'd be bored by it. There'd be no
Is
challenge.
Michigan State Michigan's iceberg?
Yes, it's the same movie. It happened the same way in
just
three
don't
different
think
locations.
your team can beat Michigan the fourth
Darian,
time.
let these two have their lovers spat. Would you like to see Michigan State, Michigan 4?
No, not really, honestly, myself. Just because of the stipulations of that game, how do you weigh it against what happened in the rest of the season? Obviously, if Michigan State wins again, you get 4 in a row on the season, and it's all glory and everything. But if Michigan wins that game,
all the other doesn't matter then.
everybody's going to say the rest doesn't matter. That setup right there, while I would rather them meet, having played twice during the season and not met up any time.
They did face Wisconsin 4 times in 2000. How'd that work out? We'll be back in just a minute with the big picture. And we're going to talk about the Big Ten. There's another Big Ten team thinks it can win a championship, the Purdue Boilermakers. Up next.
I really think I could do a great impression of Gordon Ramsay.
Oh, I have one. Where's the lamb sauce? My name is Gordon Ramsay.
That is a spoonful of cash.
This is very delicious. Burger. I can't do it.
This is the worst dish ever. You need a better accent, like, this is the worst dish ever. And like, throw the plate across the room. Get your head in the game.
I'm gonna feed this to my bulldog.
Here, I'm here to tell you that Sadie is gonna be the next MasterChef Junior.
I think my hair is beautiful, and I think that Sadie is not going to be the next MasterChef Junior.
You sure about that?
Download the Fox 47 News app and stay connected everywhere you go.
The Ticket Machine is your local connection to concert, theater, and sporting event tickets nationwide. Our entertainment experts are ready to help you create a memorable experience, trusted by fans for more than 20 years. Whether you're looking for tickets for your corporate outing, family excursion, or vacation, we offer the best seats and the best prices. Grab a front row seat now on theticketmachine.com.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football.
It's a fun game, and it's safer than ever.
It's safe because the rules, the coaching, and the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously. And builds
strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders.
And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for the big picture, brought to you by Dean Trailways. With trips for every season, Dean takes care of the details so you can enjoy the experience, including daily casino runs and great getaways to northern Michigan and Chicago, site of the Big Ten tournament, and where Doug Warren and I were in August for the NFL Legends Classic. That's Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the best players in the country. You know, he can control games in a way that, you know, nobody else can. He has vision and great passing skills along with the scoring mentality, you know, and so it's hard to guard. You know, Murphy's a big part of their team, especially with the rebounding. You know, he's a beast inside, and he scores some buckets, and, you know, he's had a really good career. He's one of the best players in the Big Ten, and a lot of respect to him.
That's Michigan State senior guard Matt McQuaid after advancing to the Sweet 16 for the first time. A lot of pressure, I'm sure, off his shoulders. Darian, it was strange to see two Big Ten teams meeting in the round of 32, but it was stranger to see the Golden Gophers without Jordan Murphy, who could only play 4+ minutes with the back injury. Tom Izzo spent a lot of time in the greeting line and held everything up while he told Jordan Murphy exactly what he thought of him and how proud he should be. When you think that Draymond Green is Michigan State's all-time leading rebounder, he had 1,096. Jordan Murphy has 1,305. How does that happen?
Well, he's been a double-double machine since he got to Minnesota, and he's a guy that's going to, I mean, I guess in basketball, you can't say play on Sunday. He's going to be playing every other day in the NBA, I believe. I believe there's a place for him in the NBA just because of his ability to rebound and then to finish around the rim. But it was definitely a shame not to see one of the Big Ten's best players playing in the tournament. Obviously, Coffey from Minnesota did all he could, and I think if Jordan Murphy played, the game would have been a little closer. But it's just the respect level that these coaches in the Big Ten and the players have for each other in basketball is so much different than football. I mean, it's almost night and day. You see Beeline wishing the Spartans good luck before the game. Xavier Simpson wishing Nick Ward good luck. Obviously, Coach Izzo talking about Jordan Murphy after the game. It's phenomenal to me, the difference in the respect level. And maybe it's a friendship thing or just an admiration that's different in basketball than it is in football in the Big Ten.
Tom Crawford, when we think of what the Big Ten accomplished with that 7-1 start, only Wisconsin losing, and then 3 blowouts for Michigan, Michigan State, and Purdue, combined 221 to 160 count with those 3. Just think what would have happened if Maryland and Iowa could have pulled off those upsets.
Oh my God, Maryland was down and they came back and they could have won that game. They gave up the layup at the end, but Iowa was the one that really bummed me out today. They were down 25, and I go, do I want to go for the dog walk or not? And I said, I'll just see if they hang around, and they came back. And I'll tell you what, Iowa was I was leaving them for dead earlier in the season. Maybe it shows you how tough the Big Ten is. They get in the tournament, look how well they're doing. So hats off to the Hawkeyes. A nice effort on their part.
And we were all ripping Ohio State not too long
Sure.
ago about how, this team maybe doesn't deserve to get in. They won a first game.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, they're surprising a lot of people. So, hey, the Big Ten, no matter what happens, has done well, I think, moving forward.
Rico, a lot was made all year about the depth of this conference, and at one point, they were even talking about having 10 teams in. They wound up getting 8. But what does this showing say about the league, except that Jim Delaney is smiling and the conference coffers are going to be inflated? There'll be a lot of money coming in.
Well, it shows that right now they have teams in there. They got teams that are winning. They got teams that are doing what they have to do, but it still comes down, can one of those teams cut down the nets?
That's true.
Because that's when you get the legitimacy of this conference. It's a good conference, but it won't be considered a great conference until you end a 19-year drought.
You look at the Sweet 16 matchups. I guess Purdue's done because Darian picked Tennessee at the beginning of the year. So, but we had kind of written off the Boilers after they lost to Minnesota in the Big Ten tournament.
Right.
Yeah.
And they look like they found new life.
Yeah. Well, but see, the Boilers go as Carson Edwards goes, and when he becomes a scorer, 42 points, they're great. When he's a chucker, they're not so good.
He chucks more than he scores.
Right. So how did he pull that off yesterday? What did Carson Edwards do differently?
I just think he flipped the switch and turned it on and knew that there was a lot of noise out there. That he's a chucker. He's not necessarily a ball hog, but just was not as efficient as an offensive player as you needed him to be for Purdue to be successful. So
I think Darian, I think it also goes back to the fact that when you step out of conference, you're going up against people who don't know.
Exactly.
Big Ten playing 20 games. Everybody knows everybody.
Right.
That's why Michigan State caught a break when I saw when Murphy was out. I'm like, they're going to win that next game because he's not there. And Minnesota doesn't have that counterpunch like they normally would.
Speaking of 20 games, Michigan State became the first Big Ten team to beat 20 conference opponents in a season, 16 in the regular season, 3 in the conference tournament, and then Minnesota. We saw Indiana beat 19, Tom, but beat Michigan in that NCAA final. And we saw Ohio State and Wisconsin each get 19 twice, but no one's gotten 20. And Michigan State still might meet Michigan or Purdue. Who knows where that will go. We'll be right back in just a minute. Tracking a trophy. We'll talk more about the national landscape heading into the Sweet 16. We'll be right back.
Team spirit, face paint, more cowbell. Dean Trailway's Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
The student bookstores are Green and White Shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
The United States wins the World Cup.
It's the Super 7-Day Sell-Off at Furniture Row. Shop today and save big store-wide on all living, dining, and bedroom. Plus, 5 years, no interest. But hurry, the Super 7-Day Sell-Off at Furniture Row ends Thursday.
We thought we lost everything in that fire. But my independent agent and auto owners made sure we were up and running fast. That's what mattered to us.
The Holden Divendale Insurance Agency. We are
your hometown team.
Getting a traffic violation in Michigan usually leads to points on your license and costly insurance rate increases. Fight back with the lawyers at Elimitix.com. Upload your ticket for as low as $99 and let them go to court on your behalf.
Looking for great sleep at a great price? Denver Mattress has you covered. During the Super 7-Day Sell-Off, save up to 70% on select Green Choice and Aspen models, plus 5 years no interest. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
Welcome back to Press Pass, and it's our Tracking a Trophy segment. A lot of people looking forward to this game, not anticipating it would be as close as it was, but just the matchup with Duke Superman Zion Williamson and Central Florida's larger-than-life Taco Fall. He is 7'6", 310 pounds, pretty proportioned, runs the court. Darian, he is one of the 20 largest people on the planet Earth.
Yeah, I mean, his story is fun to watch and to see develop. And you saw the montage from senior day where he saw his mom for the first time since he left for high school off the synagogue, I believe, for to come over to America to play basketball. So his story was sensational, and it was just a shame that it had to end that way. But I thought he did what he could do. He played great. He didn't get dunked on. He said he wasn't going to get dunked on. He didn't get dunked on. He played well. Unfortunately, fouled out. And that was just, Duke figuring out how to play around him and Zion being able to kind of maneuver around him because he wasn't as fleet as foot as needed to be. But honestly, for all intents and purposes, I thought he played incredibly well. And obviously, we know that Central Florida gave a magnificent effort.
Yeah, the sad thing, though, Darian, if he lets Zion dunk that last ball, they may win the game.
Absolutely.
It's over with.
Yeah. And I think that's got to come from the sideline. Coach Dawkins has to say, as we've talked about here, just let him score. Yeah. But I just, in Taco's head, he was like, I'm getting this block. I'm going to get the highlight. And then he went for it. So one play doesn't decide.
Way to go, Taco.
He didn't have 4 fouls at that time, too. Having 4 fouls put him in jeopardy of that. You're our NBA expert. What do you think his pro potential is?
I'm not sure. I think that if he could get the right trainer and get a lot of work in, then it's possible. Obviously, he's going to get a look. He might even get drafted in the second round. But just some of the things I saw today where he's not automatic on grabbing some of those rebounds.
He only had seven boards. I mean that's just mind-boggling to me. He's good at dunking.
He is. He obviously.
He's got the dunking down, but he cannot rebound.
It's catching the ball, it's grabbing the ball, it's being able to make post moves. I'm not sure that that's going to translate enough in the league, especially in this day and age. If we're in the 90s, maybe it's it's a more of a shot. Yeah. But in this day and age, I'm not sure.
He looks like a novelty to me. Yeah. I'm sorry. Maybe a lesser version of a Thon Maker.
Yep.
Manute Bol type.
Just somebody
a lot bigger than Thon Maker, though. 7'6".
Manute Bol type.
I'm just saying, but it's a novelty. It's not really.
It wouldn't have been a novelty if that last tip by Aubrey Dawkins had gone in.
I would have been bragging because that was one that I actually picked in a bracket. That game.
Did you really?
I really did.
You know what that is? It's wrong.
It's wrong. I got nothing to do.
Tom, which #1 seed? And Virginia is playing tonight as we tape.
Right.
That was my national champion pick, and they had a rough first half and then came out and asserted themselves in the second half on Friday. But which #1 seed is the first to lose?
Well, I'll give you the first and the second. Since the West is Thursday, Saturday, Gonzaga is the first #1 seed to lose. They're going to lose to Michigan. And then the next day, Michigan State's going to beat the second #1 seed, and that's Duke. So Michigan and Michigan State are going to beat the #1 seeds.
And so you have all Big Ten teams in the left side of the bracket in that semifinal.
Yeah, because they'll be playing on that Saturday on the 6th of April.
And then do you expect to have 2 ACC teams in the right side with Virginia and North Carolina?
Yes, I do. Yeah. So it's 2 Big Ten and 2 ACC. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, just like the
cozy
ACC Big Ten Challenge.
Yeah.
Except for they're playing each other.
Yeah. Well, maybe not in a championship game.
Yeah, there's guaranteed to have a
that you're
interconference
going to have an interconference championship game that way.
That's the way it should be.
Rico, taking a look at that Sweet 16, which 1 and 2 seeds will not be around when they head to Minneapolis?
Will not be around. I don't think that.
Who do you have Michigan losing to?
Gonzaga. I'm the opposite of Tom. I think Michigan and Michigan State lose to Duke and Gonzaga. I think Kentucky will make it through. I think Virginia will make it through. Now, the Auburn-North Carolina game is different because Auburn's strategy is this. We're going to shoot 35 threes.
Yeah.
If they fall, you can't beat us. If they don't, you'll boat race us. So let's go, North Carolina. I mean, that's his strategy. He said, we're going to shoot 35 threes a game. If they fall, nobody's beating us.
That's going to be a very entertaining game. I cannot wait for that.
Darian, which 3 or 4 seed would you most want to see in Minneapolis?
One
of those, not the 1s or the 2s, but when you look at the Texas Techs, LSU, you got
Well,
Houston.
definitely not LSU. Houston would be an interesting one. I think they're kind of been a mystery team all year. Yeah. Texas Tech, obviously, that would be a win over Michigan, so I guess I'd maybe be kind of happy there. But I think that Auburn, sitting at a 5 is really interesting just because of the way they shoot the ball. I had them in my Sweet 16. I do have them losing to North Carolina, but they always have a shot. If you can shoot, or if you do shoot, if you throw it up there, you got a shot. Because as we've said, 3 is more than 2.
It's
you
like
got a chance.
It's like the modern day version of not the Running Rebels, but Loyola Marymount. They just jack it up and jack it up and jack it up.
That's a good analogy.
Depends what day you play them, right?
Yep.
Right. That's what it's all about. When we get back, we're going to talk, believe it or not, Major League Baseball. It's our Law of the Jungle segment. And the Detroit Tigers, 1 week from now, hey, they'll have a couple losses already. We'll be right back.
The #1 March Mania sale in America tips off at Art Van Pure Sleep Mattress. Score big and take up to $1,300 off the lowest price. And a free 50-inch TV. Ends Monday. Only at Art Van Pure Sleep Mattress.
Send him up! Yeah, baby!
Fox Tuesday. Who will become the first mental samurai?
I am strapped into a piece of carnival equipment.
I'm a multi-million-dollar piece of equipment.
You are! You really are!
I really am.
And for this challenger,
my foster care social worker said, nobody wants you.
It's been a long road for you to get here, isn't it?
Very long.
One single question will stand between him and a new life.
Oh, my goodness.
You got this.
Rob Lowe hosts an all-new Mental Samurai, Tuesday on Fox.
The #1 March Mania sale in America tips off at Art Van Furniture. Score big and take an extra 15 to 30% off. And a free 50-inch TV. Ends Monday. Only at Art Van Furniture and Mattress.
Watch Live PD Police Patrol weeknights at 10 on My 47.4.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
It's the Graf Saving of the Green Sale, the time of year to save a pot of gold. Release the leprechauns.
The savings at Graf are crazy. Yeah! Graf's minimum trade is back. Get more gold for your trade.
Get a 2019 Silverado Double Cab 4-wheel drive, just $242 a month. Or drive a new Chevrolet Trax for only $96 a month.
It's the Graf Saving of the Green Sale going on now at a Graf dealership near you. You'll save so much money, you'll feel like dancing like a leprechaun too.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Law of the Jungle segment. Brought to you by Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, your healthy alternative to fast food. Eat Woody's and live longer. I'm talking about chicken shawarma with baked breast meat and hummus made fresh in a 3-day process. That's why I'm there every week. The Woody's items are now available at Tom's Foods, Horrocks, and other local grocers.
Huge test for the youngster Michael Fulmer, who's the reigning Rookie of the Year in the American League. And a swing 2-2.
There you see Michael Fulmer when he was not unhittable, but one of the toughest pitchers to face in Major League Baseball, and everyone was talking about what the future was going to be like, and should the Tigers build around him, or what could they get? There were teams that were offering significant parts of their farm system to get Michael Fulmer. Darian, that was 2 years ago, and now nobody's talking about that. There are no packages of prospects and players because of this injury. What can we expect from Michael Fulmer a year from now, 2020, after the Tommy John surgery?
Well, I think, as we know, Tommy John is the worst thing that could happen for a pitcher, but it is, I guess, it's kind of common. It's something that does happen. We've seen it happen before, and I think in 2019 with the medical technology that is available and that players can use, there's a possibility that he can return to form in 2020. So then it's just a matter of where are the Tigers at that point in time? Where are they in the rebuilding process? Is it a situation where they feel like they can, formulate a team around them? They want to keep them. They want to use them to start making a run maybe a couple years down the road? Or are they still in that process of figuring out where they want to go and want to use them as a trade asset? So there's really those are only two options.
There are some really good pitchers in Major League Baseball who have come back from it. You know Steven Strasburg's situation in D.C., being a Nats fan. Do you have to change your mechanics? Do you have to go about learning to pitch all over again?
I mean, I would say you probably do have to learn how to pitch all over again. And I think it just depends on what your doctors say and how your body reacts. I think Steven Strasburg has come back very well from it. Obviously, he came in the league with a ton of hype, had to go through the injury, sat out, came back, and he's been a very formidable pitcher for the Nationals. So I think the same thing can happen for Fulmer. But again, it's just going to be about where the Tigers are in 2020, which is probably not going to be a playoff team just yet. Right. It's just going to matter of, do you use him as a trade asset to get a lot of pieces back, or are you already starting to culminate those pieces the next couple years and you want to continue to build around somebody like Fulmer?
Tom Crawford, one of the best stories out of Lakeland this spring involves Gordon Beckham, who has made the team, and he was a former White Sox second baseman, and then fell on tough times. He was a non-roster invitee. So to make this team and be talked about as a very important contributing player, does that say more about his persistence and performance or the problems the Tigers have?
It's the problems the Tigers have. This is going to be one of those cute little stories. I mean, this guy's 32 years old. He spent the last 2 years in the Mariners organization. He spent more time in the minors when he's in his 30s than he was in the 20s, which is usually the opposite. I mean, it's going to be a nice story that the Tiger fans can go get excited about and come out to Comerica and watch him with his comeback. Because without Michael Fulmer, I mean, this is a 95-loss team, 90 to 95. So it's not.
Doug Warren said more than 100.
Yeah, I know. He's an extremist. But I mean, there's nothing more than that. I mean, they're going to need these cute little stories to get people to come out to Comerica. That's my opinion.
Yeah, lost 98 last year, so that's not much of a fall-off, actually, when you think about it. Rico, you just came from the land of the Cactus League, and how strange is it to think that the Tigers are opening on March 28th, and they could have a dozen games in before the NCAA championship?
It's way too early. I mean, baseball really is trying to alienate fans. I think they are, because
hey, they're winning then.
No, because they really don't want fans around. I mean, I remember growing up.
I mean, they don't want fans around.
No, April 10th was the starting date.
You don't offer fans things like, I remember the double headers, and I loved that as a kid. It was like, wow, you get to watch 2 games.
That day.
But then all of a sudden, it's like, well, we're losing money. Let's have a double header, one in the morning, one at night, and charge us for 2 different games. That's what I mean. They're spreading themselves out so thin. You're starting in March, you're ending in October. It's cold in all these cities. It's a horrible idea. And honestly, I just think they're trying to alienate themselves.
I guess you can't have everything, Darian. And the players in negotiations said, we need more off days. Well, if you build off days into the season, either it has to start earlier or end later. And they've already dealt with some of these November World Series opportunities in the snow. So you're going to get it one way or the other. But I don't understand the scheduling. I get it with the Tigers in Toronto. That's a good idea. But I would just say, hey, if you're a Southern team, you'll be home a lot.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Exactly.
Maybe you can't do that.
And I'm sorry, if you give each team 5 doubleheaders, now you got some off days built in there.
Never going to happen.
And they just.
You're right.
I loved it as a kid.
No,
though.
I agree with
as a
everything you
kid,
say.
I was into baseball, but baseball has done so many things to turn me off. I never recovered from that strike.
Only way you get doubleheaders now are when rainouts force you to have it, and
Late
then
September.
they have split gates.
Yep.
So you got an afternoon game, and then you got a night game, and they collect
5,000
points.
people each time.
We'll be right back. Our Take It to the Bank segment up next, brought to you by Dart Bank. We'll be right back.
All I ever did was try to get justice for that poor girl. Now she's gonna haunt me to my grave.
What drives a district attorney, Gore Bellows, is his desire to see justice done.
No one's evil just to be evil. There is a reason behind everyone's motives, and a great actor like Kelsey Grammer is going to be able to make people think.
Gore Bellows swears that he thinks that she's genuinely guilty. I see someone who saw an opportunity to make a name for himself.
I honestly thought you were guilty. In fact, I still do.
I think Bellows is a man of deep conviction.
If, in your crusade, you manage to free someone who's actually guilty and they murder someone, then who's the villain in your story? Some people have ended up behind bars that didn't need to be. So his role in that is part of what's being explored.
This kind of show makes you think, makes you see both sides of it.
The truly guilty will not go free.
An all-new Proven Innocent, Friday on Fox.
Don't miss Mike and Molly, weekdays at 3:30 on My 47.4.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
Team spirit. Face paint. More cowbell. Dean Trailways Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
Every superhero has their kryptonite.
Gentlemen. Girls.
Hey guys, I just got the most amazing news.
Mothers.
Mommy needs a photo.
Of course. The common cold.
Rub Vicks on my chest.
You can rub your own chest.
Rub every other man on the planet, but draw the line with me.
The Big Bang Theory, 5 nights a week.
Weeknights at 6, 7, and 11 on Fox 47.
I feel empowered.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Take It to the Bank segment, brought to you by Dart Bank, dedicated to meeting the needs of our banking community for more than 90 years, with 4 convenient locations in Mason, Holton South Lansing, Grand Ledge, and the expanded Home Loan Center in Frandor. That's Dart Bank for what matters most.
One of the reasons Tom Izzo is one of my favorite coaches, he coaches his team. And I was so disappointed to hear all these jackasses on other networks complaining about a coach actually coaching his team. Coach Izzo, you keep doing your thing. It's all right for a coach to yell at a player. When did we get to the point where every time a coach yells at a player, it becomes a national emergency?
I love Chester.
Charles Barkley, leaving no doubt where he stands on this. The Bradley Braves put up a tremendous fight Thursday, but that was completely obscured. All anyone was talking about was the heated interaction. And we've all seen this act before. We know what this is about. Team 287, Aaron Henry lost focus at the wrong time, and Tom Izzo held him accountable. Tom Crawford. There were some other people, Brendan Haywood, Skip Bayless, who took the other point of view. What can we take to the bank about the fallout from this kind of in-your-face accountability?
Well, I take to the bank that we're in a pretty soft society, and it's going to get softer. My wife teaches phys ed in elementary school. The kids are getting softer every year. I mean, I just think that's the way it is. It's pretty sad, but I think it was obviously the media overreaction of 2 people you mentioned and others, And I'm glad that the counter punches of Charles Barkley's, and Tim Bograkis and players who, came out for his defense. But then there was just way too much piling on. This story got way bigger than it needed to be.
There was no upsets. The tournament was boring, and it was the only thing that was happening. There was no Cinderella story.
No, that's true.
And it got caught on tape, and oh my God, did you see this?
Takeaway.
Hashtag, Aaron Henry, save Aaron.
But us locally here, we see this all the time, and it's not a big deal anyway.
Right.
I mean, because we all agree in the philosophy.
You can't yell. You can't abuse. Got to be nice.
Soft.
Rico, we know Tom Izzo much better than most. For some people who are not familiar with this, they don't know that he coaches hard, but he does so many things off the court to build these relationships. What's our lock for this kind of relationship moving forward?
That Tom will yell at another player. Tom will. Yeah. I mean, that's the biggest lock.
Well, that's going on a level.
That's the biggest lock. But here's the thing. They handle it. Tom knows how to motivate each player. So, you know what? For lately, when Cassius turns the ball over, you're going to sit for a little bit, Cassius. I need you to actually focus and get ready. He's pushing guys. He needs Aaron Henry to take that next step because there is no Kyle Lawrence for the rest of the season. Right. So Tom, here's your lock, is going to be Tom. He's going to yell. He's going to get in people's faces. He's going to make the soft people of the world uncomfortable, but he's going to push all the buttons he can to get to that next level. Imagine what he'll look like, Sunday night playing against Duke. You miss a free throw? I mean, if Aaron Henry misses a dunk in that game, he may just walk into the tunnel and take a shower and go home and go back to Indianapolis.
If you had not had a chance to see Scott Van Pelt's reaction to this, it's worth checking out on YouTube. Darian, you can look at the different styles that coaches have. Clearly, Tom Izzo doesn't coach the way John Wooden did, and Dean Smith's relationship with players is very different from what Mike Krzyzewski's is. What does it mean that there is a new name in 5th place in the all-time NCAA tournament win total? You've got Krzyzewski, he's closing in on 100. He could get that in the championship game. Roy Williams, Dean, Jim Boeheim, Tom Izzo, 50 wins. And you look at the ones he's been part of just about every one of them for Michigan State.
Yeah, it just means that if you pair that with the outpouring of his former players coming out in support of him, what happened should be a non-story. And that's just what it comes down to.
Martine Cleave's testimonial, pretty compelling too. We'll be right back in just a minute. Our Cool and Smooth segment up next.
It's the Graf Saving of the Green Sale, the time of year to save a pot of gold. Release the leprechauns.
The savings at Graf are crazy. Yeah! Graf's minimum trade is back. Get more gold for your trade.
Get a 2019 Silverado Double Cab 4-wheel drive, just $242 a month. Or drive away a new Equinox LT for only $179 a month.
It's the Graf Saving of the Green Sale going on now at a Graf dealership near you. You'll save so much money, you'll feel like dancing like a leprechaun too.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Come on down to Outdoor Man.
When do I get to shoot the crossbows?
We're breaking the rules.
So you're 13, I don't even think it's legal. So we should do it after lunch.
Our camping department is intense.
Set it up in 30 seconds flat. You can take it down even faster.
And we're always family friendly.
He's adorable. Listen, we found a bear cub in here.
Been nice knowing you, Baxter.
Outdoor Man is open for business on Last Man Standing.
Weeknights at 7:30 on Fox 47.
Last Man Standing is back and bigger than ever. All new Fridays on Fox.
From business to farms, Hastings Mutual will protect your best assets.
Welcome to The Blend.
I'm Bob.
Meet Bob.
This morning on The Morning Blend, I'm Mary Turner.
I'm Bob Hoffman.
Meet Mary.
We're glad to have you joining us this morning.
You never know what's going to happen on The Blend.
It's not every day you wake up with a pig.
Start your day off right with The Morning Blend.
It's a fun night out.
Catch The Morning Blend weekdays during Fox 47 Morning News at 7.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for a Cool and Smooth segment brought to you by all 5 Culver's locations in mid-Michigan. Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with scrumptious Butterburgers and premium frozen custard. That's Culver's. Welcome to delicious.
It's just a lot more to this game because it meant more. You know, we haven't made out the round of 32 or right now the first weekend in a few years, from what I've been told. So, I mean, I just wanted to be one of the first people to do that here in a few years. I mean, being a part of that was huge and just continuing the success. You know, Big Ten teams are in the tournament doing well so far. So that's always a lot of credit to our conference and how our seeding worked out. And I'm glad they're doing good for our conference. It looks good. But, I mean, if we match up, I mean, we know what it is. We got to do what we got to do and handle business.
Aaron Henry, and that was after the win over Minnesota. All right, Team 287. Who has been as cool and smooth as a Culver's mint explosion this week? Rico Beard, let's start with you and our play of the week.
Play of the week, go back to just yesterday. Minnesota looked as if they were closing the game in.
Yeah.
I almost, well, full disclosure, Aubrey Dawkins, you almost had to play. Just got to get that out, okay?
Yeah.
But Minnesota's closing that game in, and Cassius Winston went on a 7-0 run. When he steps back and hits that three-pointer, that was it. Yeah. That was a dagger. You saw the life leave Minnesota's team. They were done.
Yeah.
They had nothing left. The referees could have did like boxing and just said, nope, game over. They walked in there and grabbed Patino and just held him and said, this game's over. Guys, shake hands. Cassius Winston, once again, leading that team, hitting that three. So
I was talking to Kevin Harlan about this. And I said, you know how many 2,000-point, 1,000 assist players there have been in college basketball? He said, no. He said, there haven't been any. But Cassius Winston has a legitimate chance to be the first. He has to average a little more than 16 points and a little less than 8 assists the rest of his career, and he could be the first one to do it.
Very doable.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm glad that somebody found Kenny Goins on the back of that milk carton and brought back his shot. Thank you, Kenny. Welcome back.
He said he wasn't playing any different. Darian, what about our game of the week?
Well, I think Duke and UCF made that pretty easy for me earlier today. It was a phenomenal college basketball game, and I think what helped it be that much better, obviously there was the theatrics at the end and how it ended, but for UCF to have a player like Aubrey Dawkins, who, and I got to go back and I got to, maybe watch some tape or look some stuff up on this kid. I don't want to jump the gun, but the way he played today, he looked like a lottery pick. Maybe he already was. Maybe he was already a first-round guy. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was an undrafted guy that is just a coach's son and had a great day. The way he played today was phenomenal. And if he just, could just catch the alley-oop and finish that, we might be having a different story if he finishes the tip back. But it was a great game, and even further than that, Zion just continues to be the best player in college basketball. He's the best player on the floor every time. He had 32 points. Nobody's talking about it. It's just, he does it in his sleep.
How did he get out of Michigan?
Why did
his dad
went to play for his dad?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Some late news. We know now that Virginia Tech won that game, so they will be playing Duke.
There goes Buzz.
In the Sweet 16. Virginia has a big lead, so as a 1 seed, then they will also advance. And Ohio State is up 2 in that game.
Are we going to declare him the winner?
No. They're still the first half. Tom, what about our team of the week?
This afternoon when Iowa made that great comeback, they were down 25 and they were going to overtime. They're going to be my team of the week tonight. That didn't fall. It fell short. Didn't work out. And the same thing with Central Florida. They were going to be my team of the week. But I'm still going to give both those teams a team of the week because they represent everything there is in what the NCAA tournament is all about, making great comebacks, the theatrics that Darian talked about. I'm giving those 2 teams that title.
Player of the week, I'm very tempted to go with John Morant. Moved himself up probably to the number 2 spot in the draft. But
I think he was there.
I've got to go with Aaron Henry, and I'll tell you why. After the game Thursday, when I asked him, what about when Tom came at you hard? He said, which time? And he came back, big play late in that game, 9 points, 9 rebounds, tremendous defense on Saturday, and he is scoring more than Denzel Valentine did, rebounding more than Draymond Green did as a freshman. He's going to be better than Allen Anderson. Mark it down. He's going to be better than Morris Peterson if he sticks around.
That's high cotton there.
Tom Crawford, The Drive with Jack and Tom. Rico Beard, The Spartan Beat. Darian Harris, Mr. Bigby Coffee. We'll be back next week, everyone. Have a great week.